How much leave am I entitled to for the holidays? Presented by the Law Office of Maria Eva Susie in Gilroy, California. Here's a fact pattern. Every year in January, I get a call from someone who was fired from their job because they had to miss work days during the holidays to visit a sick relative who lives out of town. The individual provides no proof whatsoever of anyone being sick. Coincidentally, the days absent from work range from sometime around December 15th to January 1st and beyond. In actuality, the question being raised is more about what the rights are in terms of vacation days. If a person is in fact taking time off to care for an immediate relative, there may be a California or federal law that offers some protection to that situation. But more on that another time. So, how many days of vacation am I legally entitled to? Generally speaking, there is no California law that mandates that employers give their workers vacation, either paid or unpaid. Instead, a worker is at the mercy of the employer's vacation policy, usually found in your employee handbook. Once an employer does elect to create a policy around earning vacation leave, there are limitations on the employer on how it can fulfill its obligation to provide it. So what are the restrictions on how vacation leave is awarded? This is what we know so far. It's complicated. There's no golden rule on how vacation leave should be implemented. The state legislature provides that the DLSC, the Division of Labor Standards Enforcement, is to apply the principles of equity and fairness in resolving vacation claims. The DLSE issues updated decisions on a regular basis, so it's important to check with an attorney if you have questions about it. California vacation leave. In California, earned vacation time is considered wages, and vacation time is earned or vests as labor is performed. So what is the required accrual rate? An employer is allowed to award vacation on a daily, weekly, pay period, or some other basis. For example, your employer says, we offer 10 days of vacation per year. So, in this situation, you need to then divide the number of days by the accrual basis to determine the rate of accrual. So just because your employer says you get 10 days doesn't mean you can take all 10 days right away. You have to earn the days as you work. Can the employer delay the start of your vacation accrual? Hypothetical. You start a new job, but your employer says that for the first 6 months you will be on probation and no vacation can be accrued during that time, which means you cannot take vacation during those 6 months. Is this legal? It depends. Generally speaking, an employer is not limited from implementing a waiting or a probationary period policy. However, the waiting policy must not be subterfuge, a phony reason, for essentially limiting the use of vacation. Here's an example. In year 1, you get no vacation. In year 2, you get 4 weeks vacation. In year 3, you get 2 weeks vacation. Essentially here, you earned your 2 weeks vacation in year 1, so it's not a valid waiting period policy. This matters in the scenario where you leave your job during year 1. You would be entitled to wages in lieu of your vacation earned in year 1. So, to understand this, you can consult a lawyer to learn more. Can my employer award vacation to full-time but not part-time employees? Employers are not prohibited from creating classes of employees such as full-time, part-time, seasonal, temporary, provisional, etc. So yes, it is legal for the employer to award vacation to one class of employee and not the other. However, the employer cannot create discriminatory classifications, such as only awarding to women and not to men, etc. Can my employer take away my earned vacation leave? Vacation that has already been accrued because you earned it based on the labor performed cannot be taken away. Thus, your employer cannot have a use it or lose it policy for earned vacation days. However, if an employer has a policy to pay you the unused earned vacation at the end of the year, that is permissible. The difference here is that you are not losing the economic value of your earned vacation leave. Can my employer limit how many hours of vacation leave I can bank? Yes, employer policies that place a limit on how many vacation days you can accrue is legal. For example, you can accrue no more than 200 vacation hours at a time. Once you use some vacation leave and go below the 200 limit, you can begin to accumulate hours again, up to 200 vacation hours. This is legal. The limitation is that the time period provided for using the earned vacation hours must be reasonable. Your employer cannot create a policy where you're in effect not being allowed to use the vacation hours. Can I ask my employer to grant me advanced vacation leave before I earn it? Your employer is not legally required to do so. However, if your employer elects to front your unearned vacation leave, your employer is taking the risk that you will not work the required amount of days to earn that vacation leave. If you were to receive an advance on your vacation leave and you get fired, your employer would not be able to or allowed to withhold the vacation wages it paid you, which you failed to earn. You would instead owe a debt for which your employer would need to collect from you separately. What if my employer says I can't use my earned vacation time because I'm needed at work? Is that legal? Employers are granted deference, favoritism in being allowed to regulate how employees take their vacation. An employer can control when a vacation can be taken and how many total days can be taken at one time. The policy has to be reasonable and cannot, in essence, be a reason to deny you the right to take vacation. What about PTO? Where employers combine the paid sick leave and paid vacation leave, the policies are subject to the same vacation limitations and cannot be used to circumvent the restrictions placed on vacation leave. What about unlimited PTO policies? An unlimited PTO policy is one where the employer provides that an employee can take as much time as desired, so long as the employee is able to keep up with their work. Issues arise when the company converted from a fixed vacation policy, 10 days, to an unlimited one. Issues may also arise when the employee's work relationship ends. How much money, if any, is the employee entitled to in an unlimited PTO scenario? Here's a hypothetical. A worker receives approval to travel outside of the country on vacation. While on vacation, he contracts COVID-19 and is unable to travel to return to his job. He requests additional time off to recover from COVID. His employer takes on a wait and see approach. Upon the worker's return to the country, he is notified that he is being terminated because he failed to return to work as scheduled after his approved vacation leave. Is this legal? This raises a question about COVID-19 sick leave. The laws that were enacted in response to the COVID-19 pandemic providing paid time off for qualifying reasons related to COVID-19 have expired. Whether you are entitled to additional time off for sick leave depends on the various sick leave laws available to you at that time. More on sick leave another time. If you have questions, reach out or schedule a free consult. Hypothetical. What if I have earned 10 days of vacation, but I left on vacation without obtaining approval from my supervisor, and then I get fired? Is this allowed? If you violated a company policy by not obtaining approval for your vacation or left without notifying your supervisor, leaving your employer in a pinch, that can be a basis to upset your employer. Generally, your employer can terminate your employment for any reason, as long as it is not an illegal reason. In the scenario above, if you are terminated, your employer would need to pay you for the 10 days of earned vacation in your final paycheck, unless otherwise noted in a collective bargaining agreement. But it is otherwise legal. For additional questions on vacation leave or any other questions relating to your employee rights, please visit www.mevlegal.com for a free consultation. Thank you.